they get it to Jordan coming off the screen. Pass Curry, nice inside, and he punches it down right over Mourning. Oh, my goodness, what a finish. Hello and welcome everyone to Chicago, Illinois. Tonight we rewind the early 90s for a contest between two of the most exciting teams of that era. The brash and aggressive young Charlotte Hornets taking on the preeminent team in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls.
And the Hornets, a relative newcomer, both the franchise, which was started in 1988, and the player. They led this team to its first ever playoff appearance in '93, making it to the second round.
They look to knock off a team in the Chicago Bulls that we find in the midst of its first championship three-peat, a powerhouse ball club if ever you saw one.
And as always, this Bulls team revolves around the Hall of Fame talents of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen at shooting guard and small forward, respectively.
But if the Hornets are to find an edge in this one, it would have to be on their front line, with the athletic and imposing combination of Larry Johnson at power forward and Alonzo Mourning at center. They'll need to have big games if the Hornets are going to win this one.
And as we look at this Bulls team, of course, we mentioned Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, the 6'2" B.J. Armstrong at point guard. And up front, Horace Grant and their center, Bill Cartwright. The lineup for the Hornets, 5'3" Muggsy Bogues running the show at the point guard. Kendall Gill in at the shooting guard. Wingate in at the 3, the small forward. And their talented young front court tandem, Larry Johnson out of UNLV and Alonzo Mourning out of Georgetown. Now here's Johnson. Now guys, if you were trying to, in a nutshell, describe what made Jordan so special, what would you say?
Well, a lot of attributes. I mean, his competitive spirit, his unique physical gifts. I mean, the guy was a tremendous basketball player. You add on top of that, tremendous athleticism as well. He's a guy who could jump, he was strong, tremendous drive and focus. I just think it was his combination of basketball skill and athletic excellence.
And the fact that he was just so driven. I mean, you touched on it, Clark, but that guy wanted to win more than anything else in his life. And he approached every single day as a competition. And he drove himself and his teammates so hard that he just elevated everybody to new heights.
Bogues with it. B.J. Armstrong comes up with the rebound. Hornets on D. Left side, Jordan. Fades away. And Jordan drains the fadeaway.
Steve, you were one of the fortunate few who played with Michael Jordan. How was he as a teammate?
Well, Clark, he was incredibly demanding. I mean, he was such a leader, and he drove everyone so hard in practice on a daily basis. And it was not easy. I mean, he would get on you if he didn't think you were bringing it. So he really forced everybody to lift the level of their game.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. Now Armstrong. They're moving it around. Grant kicks to Jordan. Sinks it from just inside the baseline. Jordan's got his second basket of the game.
He's been ready to roll offensively at the beginning of this game. He looks smooth out there.
Open look. Johnson's shot is off.
And Jordan was no slouch as a rebounder. I mean, over 6 per game was his career average.
Pippen dishes to Jordan. Blocked.
Now, so tough to get anything past Zoe in there.
The pass to Gill. Over Jordan. No luck. Good D by Jordan.
And that Jordan defense earned him a rare distinction. He's one of only 2 players to be named MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. That came after the 87-88 season.
Now, Muggsy Bogues played at powerhouse Dunbar High in Baltimore, played alongside 3 future NBA players, including his Hornets teammate David Wingate. That team was ranked first in the nation at Dunbar, undefeated in Muggsy's junior and senior seasons.
So for the Bulls, Purdue comes in for Bill Cartwright, and it's Paxson in for B.J. Armstrong. Charlotte also making some changes. Newman comes in for Wingate, and Curry subbed in for Gill. Now here's Bogues. Johnson outside. Straight up. Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
And it took a gamble there to try to disrupt that pass.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get a hold of it, but still a nice play.
We've got 1:48 left to play in the first quarter. Oh, and a nice defensive play to interrupt the alley-oop. The Bulls leading by... And then Pippen slams it in.
Well, he took that one to the rack with some purpose.
I'll say beautiful dunk there, Steve.
Yeah, how about the agility? Just the power and the skill, impressive.
Here's the Hornets with the ball. They trail by 6.
Well, at 5'3", Muggsy, still the shortest guy ever to play in the NBA, but he made up for it with speed, toughness, and strength. And he was just an incredible defensive player.
And that he was, Steve. I mean, tough as they come. He was raised in inner-city Baltimore and actually got the nickname Muggsy because of his physical style growing up. He was trying to mug guys out there on the court.
Now here's Pippen. Back to Jordan. Shoots over Curry. Goes back up. And there's the rejection. Hornets trail by 4. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
Yeah, knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to their game.
No good there off the double clutch. And here comes Paxson. Here's Jordan. And here's Purdue. Outside Jordan. And Curry picks him up defensively. Outside Jordan. 6 on the shot clock. Curry meets him. Second chance shot. Jordan can't get that one to fall. And here we go. Takes it right up. Curry's shot is good. Curry's got his first points of the game.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
That will count. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still Bulls out front, up 2.
I was impressed with their transition game, guys. They really got out and ran the lanes.
Yeah, they did. I mean, no better way to get easy buckets than through fast breaks.
Don't go away. We'll see you in a moment. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter.
And the individual awards for Michael Jordan, just staggering. I mean, staggering. 5-time league MVP, a 14-time All-Star, 9-time first-team All-Defense, and an NBA record 6 Finals MVPs.
They've got Michael Jordan. Williams is out there with Cartwright. Then there's McRae, and it's Armstrong in at the point guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And for Jordan Clark, you know, he could have had a lot more awards if not for his 2 retirements in the midst of his career. Why do you think, and Steve, let's bring you into, why do you think he needed that time away from the game?
Well, I think he was burned out, Kevin. I mean, you think of the focus on him, the constant scrutiny and attention, and I think he just kind of got worn out from it. He had won 3 titles in a row in Chicago at that point, so he decided to step away, and I think that rejuvenated him because he came back stronger than ever. And for Jordan, the 92-93 season capped off 7 straight scoring titles and 3 straight NBA championships. Just amazing success. And then he shocked the basketball world by deciding to retire prior to the next season.
And for Michael Jordan, you know, you were talking about that, Steve. When he retired, he said he'd lost his passion for the game, and he played a lot of it, certainly. 3 straight finals, plus the Dream Team in summer of '92. I'm sure Clark, he was both physically and mentally exhausted.
Yeah, I think so. And then the other part of the equation for him was he admitted that the tragic passing of his father earlier that year was a pretty significant factor as well. I mean, Jordan decided to pursue a career in baseball for a few years. It had been a dream of his dad's that he'd play in the majors, and I think it was a break that he needed from basketball, but also to try to fulfill that dream that his dad had, especially on the heels of his dad passing so tragically.
And it's the Bulls with the ball, following the bucket by the Hornets. Michael Jordan on the wing, guarded by Curry. Jordan connects from 13 feet out. Jordan's got 5 points in the quarter.
Now, these are the kinds of shots he feels so comfortable with. The Hornets were a very tough opponent for the Bulls in the 92-93 season. The Bulls won the season series, but it was close. It was 3-2.
Yeah, and Charlotte matched up really well with them, guys. It was very much a strength-on-strength situation. I mean, the Hornets had pieces in all the right places to take on the Bulls and give them trouble during that season.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets.
Well, Michael Jordan impacted the game in so many ways, including in the fashion category. Remember the baggy shorts that eventually became popular? He was really the first guy to wear them.
Yeah, you know what? And he said it wasn't so much about fashion for him, but rather function, because it gave him a chance to hold the hem when he rested. I had not heard that, but I guess it makes sense. It also helped hide the UNC shorts he always wear under his Bulls uniform. So I see where he had a couple of reasons for those long shorts.
And again, the Hornets missing.
Well-contested shot there.
And that's the key defensively. You've got to make them work for it, challenge every shot.
Armstrong passes to Pippen. There's the screen. Pippen is doubled. He passes to McCray. Just 5 to shoot. Takes the lead pass. Here's Armstrong. And the running layup is good. And it's a 7-point Bulls lead.
Well, a nice little trend developing here, fellas. I mean, that's 8 of their last 10 from inside the paint.
Yeah, they're getting high percentage looks down there. Their offense is really clicking. I don't see why they wouldn't just continue to pound the ball inside.
Here's Mourning. Kept alive.
Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
Armstrong against Bogues. Armstrong kicks to Pippen. Can't get it to go. And it's Charlotte the other way.
I got to give it up to Muggsy. I mean, standing as small as he did, he just was so effective out there and a great defensive player.
You know what? Even as a bigger guy myself, you've got to have tremendous respect for Muggsy. I mean, he was so strong for his size that his height almost was an afterthought.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
Playing alongside Jordan, probably the greatest player ever, Scottie Pippen might not have gotten all the credit he deserved. I mean, he was the perfect number 2 guy on those Bull teams, someone who turned a great team into an absolute dynasty.
Well, they were perfect complements to each other, Clark. Pippen was the distributor on offense, the rebounder, the defender. Jordan, obviously, the scorer and the finisher. But their styles really complemented each other. And together, they formed one of the great defensive tandems on the perimeter in NBA history.
Bill Cartwright, he's checked in for Chicago. Jordan comes in for McCray. The Hornets also changing it up. Johnson, he's checked in for Gaddison. Hill comes in for Curry, and Bennett subbed in for Bogues. Now here's Jordan. He's got 11. And that falls. Jordan's got 7 points here in this quarter.
You know, it should be no surprise to any of us that Jordan has the highest scoring average in history, over 30 points per game.
Here's Bennett. He dishes it to Johnson. Passes to Bennett. Launches a 3. It's all in by the Bulls.
And, you know, his teammates, guys, I used to watch it every day. Jordan and Pippen would push each other so hard. They loved to compete in every single drill, and it really elevated the play of the entire team.
Well, they are getting out-rebounded here, and it's showing up on the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, it's something they're going to have to improve upon if they're going to win this game.
He's covered by Armstrong. Nice shot by Bennett.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
Jordan can't get it to go. Hornets trail by 5. Wingate passes to Johnson. Johnson commits the charge. That's his first foul.
Yeah, no question there. That's a charge. He had his feet set.
You know, a lot of times that's the hardest call to make. It can go either way, but that was the right call. It was pretty obvious that was a charge.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Gaddison, he's checked in for Mourning. Newman comes in for Wingate. And it's Bogues in for Bennett.
Well, I know what it was like to play with Jordan, but Clark, what were your impressions of playing against him?
Well, I didn't have to go head-to-head with him too much, but I didn't hear him talk a whole lot. I knew he was extremely competitive and a big-time point producer, that's for sure. I didn't get the wrath of his trash talking because by the time he was starting to do that on a regular basis, I was sitting courtside with the microphone.
Pippen missed inside.
Jordan with a good game, 13 points, and he's picked up 1 dime. That's dominance he's showing.